What's going on, troopers? Welcome to the Trooper Transmission. And today I got a really special guest, Ben, aka, if you've been in the comments, Grunt Killa on just about every single workout video that I have done. So, my man, thanks for taking the time to come on and talk about your fitness journey. We also got your dad in the community, so we've got the whole family affair going on here. But when I heard your story, I was like, man, I got to interview this guy because you can inspire so many people that are thinking about starting on this path, following these trooper workouts right up here. So thank you for the time and excited for you to share your experience.
And of course, thank you so much for inviting me on. Again, obviously, if you can't tell, big fan of your work and big fan of every video that you've put out. Just to go on record and say, honestly, you are the number one person I watch on YouTube as of pretty much the past couple of months now at this point.
There we go. I appreciate that.
I mean, if me in the comments isn't a hint.
Yeah, totally. It's funny because my channel started out as lore. I don't know if you were there in the lore days. I would get
I did not know that.
Yeah, if you go into my shorts, you'll see millions of shorts views, and it's all, did you know the story of the Lost 20 or this trooper or that lightsaber? And so you could probably spend another half hour, probably longer, just watching those. But eventually I was like, man, I just want to make some Star Wars workouts, and just like from day one, you've been following along. So I guess tell a little bit about when you first saw like the first workout, what was going through your mind, and what led to you ultimately being like, you know what, I need to make a change. This is how I'm going to make a change.
So, the very first one I ever watched was one of the shorts. If I remember correctly, I think it was Commander Neo's workout. I think if my memory serves. And I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. I could do this. This is fun." And from there, I went, obviously, let me take a look at this guy's channel, see what he makes. And I'm like, "Oh, he does full walkthroughs of how to do the workouts." And it's always been a thing I've had to struggle with is actually knowing the proper form because a lot of people they don't tell you that form is like apex important to doing the workouts. And I was just like, I finally found someone who can actually help me the way I need to be helped. And it was just that right there was the I can do this now. Because for the longest time, what kept me away from working out was just I always messed it up. Like that was the big issue I had was I always screwed it up. I'm like, I'm not doing this right. This is hurting more than it should, and I know it's hurting more than I should, and I can't find anyone who can just actually tell me what am I doing wrong? How am I doing it wrong? How do I improve? And the big reason, and I think we talked about this the very first time we ever chatted. The reason I started was very simple. It was costumes. They don't fit you when you're big, and they take a lot more material when you're big. And especially because this is my profession now, building costumes and helmets. Sometimes you get pulled into the costume to do the event, and I'm like, well, I don't want to be the fat stormtrooper. I don't want to be the fat, space marine. So I took a good look in the mirror and I said, this is going to change. And Paul's videos is what's going to help me get there. And they absolutely have. I mean, every single shirt I'm trying to replace right now because they just don't fit anymore.
That's the good problem to have when your wardrobe's going in the other direction.
Oh,
And I'd be curious for you, what was the first one that you started with?
I wanted to start with Arc Trooper, and I tried doing Arc Trooper at first, and that was a mistake. So once I did one day of Arc, I went, you know what? I can tell this is an advanced one. Let me see. Oh, Cadet. So I genuinely went and started with Cadet. I tried doing something more advanced, but I was like, let's back it up here. Let's do it the way he says to. You start with Cadet, then 501st, then God, who was next? I think Boba Fett was next because I had kettles. That was another thing. I had only kettlebells at that point. So I
Yeah,
was like, oh, this one's made for kettlebells. That's perfect. I'll do this one next. And to this day, Boba Fett's probably still one of my favorites
yeah.
because I really dig just how you use the kettles as opposed to how you use dumbbells.
Yeah. And it was interesting in releasing them because my initial thought was, okay, let's do Cadet, then 501st, then ARC Trooper. I wanted to make like a beginner, intermediate, advanced for each character. And then it got derailed because there was a Boba Fett show, and then there was a Bad Batch show, and then I got another
Of
helmet.
course.
I want to do that character. Now what's cool is that there's actually Cadet 1.0, 501st ARC Trooper.
Mhm.
There's also Cadet 2.0, 212th
Oh yeah.
Bad Batch. And I just now am finishing up, I think you've already started on these. So I've got Mandalorian into Boba Fett,
Mhm.
into Jango Fett. So you can now do the full Bounty Hunter arc as well. May or may not be doing an Imperial Trooper arc at some point. May or may not have a Jedi arc in production as well
Ooh.
with some commandos. But I'd be
Ooh.
curious for you, which one has been your favorite, having done pretty much all of them?
Well, it is a very hard tie between dos. There is, and I only say it's a tie because I did one before the other, so I want to give one credit. Bad Batch, loved. I absolutely loved Bad Batch. The way that you based each workout off of the character was just, what was it, unilateral training with Echo, because he's missing the arm. I'm like, oh, that's clever. That's clever. But and it might just edge it out a little bit is the 212th Regiment, just because every opener and I feel like this has to be the inspiration for the openers. It felt like the 501st Journal from the old Battlefront games, but for the 212. And I'm just like, oh, that's fun. That's a great way to get you like in the mindset of like, let's okay, you know what? This is fun. This is the hype up. This is the hype up before the storm. Let's go.
Dude, has anyone, is that just like your guess, or did anyone tell you that that's what it was?
No, that's just a guess. That is just a guess.
That, as I was producing it, the name of the program was the 212 Training Journal. And I read through Wikipedia, and each video was inspired by a battle, a character, a story. And so the idea was that you went through the
Oh
very
my God.
first 212th battle, or at least the characters who were in the 212th, and then the character you were working out as fought alongside Commander Cody all the way to the very end. And so I love
That's
to pick that up because I was like, how can I tell this story like Tamora Morrison told the 501st Journal in the Battlefront games?
in the waning days of the Clone War.
Yeah,
Just God, oh, that's so awesome. Because again, those openings really were like, I mean, the word is just inspirational because it gets you in that mindset of like, okay. Because even to this day, like sometimes I'll watch it's a very short speech from a character in Warhammer, and it's just the voice actor killed it. It's just it gets you hyped up, and I'm just like, you know what? Before I get in this workout, hang on, I got to hear the words of inspiration. There we go. All right, let's go.
yep, we're ready to
And
rock.
like, it's so good.
That's awesome. So bring the clock back. Where were you in your health and fitness, and what have been some of the
Mhm.
results and achievements you've made since starting, what, 2 years ago at this point?
Uh, about 2 years ago, yes. So I believe, now forgive me on this, my memory of numbers has always been terrible. I believe I started this at about 310-ish, something like that. And I'm down to about 265, 260, somewhere around that area. From the start, my health was bad. I'll keep it 100% which it was bad. I was lazy. I did not have motivation to do a lot of stuff. And my only focus at that point was just I'm trying to figure out how to basically make my way in the world at that point because it was like getting a job was, luckily I have a job and I got a job, but it was just what do I do from X, Y to Z? It was just methodical, boring, just do this, do that, do this, do that. And then once I started it, I was like, is this really for me? Like, of course, everybody has those doubts. Like, is this really, you're going through the push-ups, you're like, is this really going to help? Is this really what I need to do? And then I started noticing things. First thing noticed, appetite just started slowly disappearing in a good way, in a good way. But just like that almost need to go like, I gotta go get something to eat. Like I just gotta go get something to snack on. It's like it's just not really there anymore. And then I started noticing like what I want to eat changed. And that was a big shocker for me because I, to this day, do not drink soda at all. That was a thing that I started this with, was like, I have to cut that out of my diet. I just cannot do it anymore. It's a addiction and I want it gone. And a couple of, I want to say like a month or two ago, I was going through a drive-through picking up lunch for the friend group, and I was ordering, like I think it was like a basic chicken sandwich for myself because I wasn't hungry, and I forgot that it comes with a drink, and in a panic, I just went, Dr. Pepper Diet, whatever, and I got it. I'm like, I don't really want this. I tried drinking it, and it didn't taste right.
Mm.
Like the taste is gone. Like I was like, I can't. eh. Nope. And I just put it down. I said, does somebody want this? Because I hate to waste it. I just can't drink it. And they're like, is something wrong with it? To me, there is, but hopefully to you guys, it's fine. And they told me it was fine. And I'm just like, okay, that's a big change. And of course, I mean, clothing is another very noticeable change. Because, half of my wardrobe is now in the dumpster because the pants just, unfortunately, my Boba Fett costume has to get a couple of changes to it now because the pants don't fit anymore.
Well, I mean, 50 pounds will do that to you, but I would
Yep,
say it's a more screen accurate Boba Fit, we'll
very
call
true. God, those Boba swole.
it. Bum bum. Uh, okay, cool. So, was there any other like performance changes you noticed? Like how did your push-ups improve?
Oh,
Plank
oh my God.
thing there?
Oh yes. So number one, and this is a very big thing, and I want to personally thank you for this. For my entire life, I could not do push-ups at all. I always would just, I'd get to a point and I'd just fall and I couldn't do it. And I'd have to like completely reset, try again. I'd get to that part and they'd just give out every single time. I can now, without break, consistently do between 5 and 10 push-ups without break in the 30 seconds. And that was unthinkable. At the start, I had to do what are they, kneeling push-ups where you're using your knees as your fulcrum. And even those were like, this is, I don't know if I have it. But now I genuinely want, like, I'll start out with like my own personal workout warm up of like, yeah, let's do 20. Let's just do 20 yoga ones because I love doing the yoga ones. Those are just fun to go down and then you lean back into it. You get that stretch on top of working the arms. It's just, oh God, I love doing those. But that was something I couldn't do. At the start of this, I just could not for the life of me do push-ups. And again, going back, one of the big things was form. I didn't know how you were supposed to do them. I thought for the longest time you were supposed to go all the way to the floor and like your whole body basically lays down and then you come back up off of it. And come to find out that's wrong. And I felt real stupid when I learned that. I was like, oh, so I've just been doing it 10 times harder than I should have. Oh, that's great, John. Thanks. Okay, fine. That's real good. Thanks, guys. But yeah, that's one big one. Jumping jacks used to hurt at the start just because that, explosive movement. My knees are fine. My legs are fine. They've taken to jumping jacks so much better now, which was always hard because I'm slightly pigeon-toed a little bit, so my legs are a little bit wonky shaped. And I always was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna snap my knees. I'm gonna break something." Nope, not anymore. That fear is gone. Like a lot of the fear of like getting hurt while working out, it's still there because you have to be conscious, of course, about like don't hurt yourself. That's not the goal. But the ones of like the kind of stupid, irrational fears, they're just gone. They are just completely gone. And I thank you for a lot of that
Yeah.
because without your videos, I would still be messing up that form and it just would screw me up over and over and over.
Yeah. Well, kudos to you for doing the work. Experience outranks everything, as old Rex would say. And for you, what would be your advice to someone who's just now maybe watching this video and discovering the workouts for the first time, or someone who started, stopped, and they're just not sure if this is for them? Like, what would be your three keys to success, your things to focus on, and really just your message for that individual?
So, to anybody who is getting into this, my three big things would be one, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, not am I happy with this? How can I improve? Because you should always want to improve, just in every way, shape, and form. Because if you're not moving forward and you're not moving backwards, you're stagnating. And at least backwards is motion. It's not good motion. And stagnating is just you're doing nothing. But as long as you're looking at yourself and going, can I improve this? Can I do this better? I can do this better. That's step one. Step two is just making sure that you don't lose sight of what's important. How important is your life? How important is your family? And how important is staying here on this earth with them? That's a big thing with health. I mean, if your health is not good, you got to make sure you're here. We want you here longer, you know? And I mean, it's a big part of just being able to say, I want to stay here and I want to help and I want to be a part of as many lives and make as many people's lives better as I can. And the third and final little motivator that I have is just what is one tiny thing you want to get out of it and just focus it. For me, I wanted to be able to do a push up. I just wanted to be able to do a push up fully. And I looked at all the videos and I said, this can help me do that. Maybe you want to be able to lift weights better. Maybe you want to, just focus on like getting the biceps bigger, getting the forearms bigger, or, working on the gut or working around, just losing weight overall. Focus on that one specific thing. And through the videos and through working out, you'll start doing more good to the other parts of you as just a side effect. And I mean, that's a pretty good side effect if you ask me.
Yeah.
And I would say those are my three big tenets. And what was the final thing you wanted me to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, even just final words of encouragement. I think you've given
Mhm.
a lot of great ones. And I love that you said find one small little thing to focus on because I hear and see so many times someone says, oh, my goal is to lose a couple pounds. Well, like, one, that's not really that inspiring. Two, that's not very specific. And, if you shoot, aim small, miss small, as old Mark
Exactly.
says, you got to focus on one target, and yeah, a lot of other things will improve with that. But if you don't have a very clear focus, it's very easy for your efforts to become fragmented because you're trying to improve
Mhm.
push up, improve your mile time, improve your plank, improve your test scores, improve this. And it's like, hey, focus on one, and that's going to be your North Star. But it starts to what you said, being honest with yourself and
Mhm.
improving. And if you're not, as you mentioned, you're going the other direction.
Exactly. And it's not because so many people can just easily get discouraged by like, oh, I look in the mirror and like I hate the way I look, or this isn't going as fast as I was hoping it would. It's not going to be fast. It's not going to be easy because, you know, in more broken English than I will say, as Yoda would say, it's anything worth doing is not going to be easy. The quick and easy path is not the good path. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the effort. You got to really want it. And then you're going to be incredibly happy when you get your result. I mean, heck, this little guy on my desk that I'm still working on, he did not start out looking, red,
Hmm.
black with the golden insignia on him. No, he started out as parts
Yeah.
and then became what he is
Hmm.
almost. You're still giving me guff, you little. But anyway, but yeah, just focusing down to that one specific detail, just it gives you a clear line of sight. It gives you a focus point. And if I have any closing encouraging statements to say, just go get it. Just do it. Don't procrastinate on it. Just make it the easy thing. Because I mean, for me, in my room, 2 feet that way. is where all my workout equipment is. It's easier for me to get out of bed, do a set, than it is to go get breakfast. And sometimes I don't even do breakfast because I don't have the appetite anymore for it. And it's just, you make the workout or the fitness part the easy option. Make it the lazy option. Because once you make it the lazy option, if you were already a little lazy, why not? It's right here. It's 2 feet here. I can just walk over and do a whole set. It's the easier option. Just do that one little thing. Make it the lazy option, and it'll be so much easier to get working out because it'll just be again right there.
I love that you said that, and I think that's a good last one to finish on, because when I was creating this, I was like, man, how do we remove as many obstacles or barriers as possible? 10-minute cadets do at home with no equipment. And so many people get worked up. They're like, oh, well, I need to find a gym membership. I don't have good form. And it's like, make it the lowest barrier to entry possible for yourself. Do workouts in your bedroom. Have maybe your workout clothes next to you. But
Mm-hmm.
so many things that I try and design for myself because I can be lazy. It's really easy for me to
Yeah.
grab a bag of chips if they're in the pantry. But if I make the lazy option something that's healthier that's in the pantry, I'll grab that. And I don't think I mean, there's definitely things to be said about willpower and discipline, but I think
Oh
the
yeah.
easier thing is to remove the distractions or get rid of the things that would distract you and then put the desired habits right in front of your path towards like, man, I can't walk through my door unless I go and do a pull-up, so I'll do that. Like little simple things like that I think go absolutely a long way. And just start simple. Like you said, just like start super simple. Like you did, go back to cadet. Don't try and do art trooper to where you can't get off the toilet or
Mm-hmm.
walk downstairs because your legs hurt so bad. Start small. There's plenty of time and plenty of workouts to get going hard and pushing yourself.
I mean, and I just have fun going back and doing ones I've already done. There's no rule that says, okay, I finished this 30-dayer. Now I can't do it again. If you enjoyed it and it's working what you want to work, keep doing it.
Yeah.
I go back and do 212 all the time just because it's fun. I mean, it's odd to say that now because when I started this, I was like, these are not going to be fun. And now I'm like, yeah, no, this is fun. This is a treat when I get home from work. If work was a rough day, at least I know one thing. I'm going to be able to pump some iron and think that I'm in Star Wars for a minute. And it
Yeah.
makes it better. Makes
Yeah.
it all better.
Is where the fun begins. Is training like a trooper, Jedi, bounty hunter, whatever your style, man. Dude, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for your support and just the comments and doing them. Art doesn't exist unless it's appreciated, and that's kind of how I look at this. This is my creative expression of exercise. Obviously, it helps people. That's a big bonus, and seeing guys like you that it helps, it brings joy to my life. So I appreciate it.
And being able to enjoy your content genuinely not only helps my life, but does bring me quite a bit of joy. Because again, I wouldn't leave a like and comment if it wasn't good content. And you are definitely making some good content.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Keep it up.
All right.
We'll watch your career with great interest, as Emperor Pal Protein says. I guess he's senator at that point, but you get the drift. And
Hey, listen, we get to know that. We're in the know. We know about that.
yeah, exactly. And hopefully in the future, armor starts fitting even better. And I'll see you at a con maybe one of these days. Trying to get out to
Oh,
Raleigh.
God, yeah. Ooh, well, I might just see you there if you can. And actually, one last fun fact. The armor is right behind me for the Space Marine. I actually had to completely resize that suit just because I had built it at one point and I went in to put it on as a refitting and I went, uh-oh. And I go, hey, Dad, this doesn't fit anymore.
You'll
But yeah,
yeah, you'll have to resize it the other direction. But like I said, good problem to have, and uh, we'll hopefully see you in it live sometime.
absolutely, brother.
All right, later, man. Take care.